Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
Welcome to episode 28. I'm one of your hosts, Laura Sturm.
Hey, everybody. I'm Josh Rohr. Welcome to the podcast.
Woohoo. I don't know. I just feel like there should be cheers and fanfare right after that.
There is. It's out there
All
somewhere.
right. So welcome to episode 28. And I guess we have a shout out to some new Instagram followers from last week. Oh, these are some epic names right here. Follower D Cool. I don't know who D Cool is, but I want to be him, basically. Jordan G. Kristen Lipscomb. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kaylin Lancaster and Ryan Grimshaw.
Ryan Grimshaw. Holy cow. So Ryan Grimshaw is actually a guy I played high school football with, and I haven't seen, heard, or talked to him since high school. What the hell? Let's do a fun Ryan Grimshaw story. So he was one of the few guys on the football team that used to work out and lift with us before school started. So when it would snow out in Ohio where we went to school, they would just plow all the snow basically into this giant pile in the middle of the high school parking lot. So when we used to get there early to work out, we both drove pickup trucks and we're both a little redneck. So we would literally just like follow we both had CB radios too, so we could talk to each other. But we would drive around in circles and just like get a little bit further up on the pile every time we went around until one of us got stuck, and then we would just park and go in and work out and then deal with it after school.
Deal with it later.
Yeah.
Wow. Redneck fun.
Yep. And he had I don't remember what year it was, but he had a Ford Ranger, obviously called the Danger Ranger. So.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Danger Ranger.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty epic.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Ryan Grimshaw, you're following us. Hopefully you're listening. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Haven't talked to you forever.
That's pretty cool. All right. So what else we have going on? We have a free 2-hour seminar for complete beginners. So this is a seminar via Zoom. The deadline to register is on the 25th. So that's coming up in just a couple days. And this is the complete beginner.
Yeah, this is basically for people that don't know anything about powerlifting, but deadline's coming up. Just wanted to mention it real quick. January 25th, sign up or be square.
If you don't know the questions to ask, and you don't know that you don't know the questions to ask, you should go.
Yes.
How would you know if you don't know?
It's true. You don't know what you don't know until you know.
I know. And then you know that you don't know. Or did you? Sorry, it's making my head hurt now.
All right. Anyway, so national powerlifting news. We have a schedule for nationals. It was just posted a couple days ago. Basically, there are 3 different national events this year. Collegiate and junior nationals are going to be April 7th through 11th in Baton Rouge. High school and teenage nationals are going to be May 27th through 30th. Now, this is different than every other year. So usually junior lifters, usually the raw lifters of juniors will lift at raw nationals. Usually the equipped juniors will lift at open nationals. Well, that's not the case this year. So collegiate lifters, raw and equipped, junior lifters, raw and equipped, are all lifting in the same event in Baton Rouge. Same format for high school and teenage. So all of the raw and equipped teenage lifters are going to be part of the high school nationals in Aurora, Colorado. And then all of the youth, bench only, masters raw and equipped, and open raw and equipped are going to be competing June 14th through 19th in Daytona Beach. So that's new. Each session is capped at 56 lifters to follow the COVID guidelines. So the meet most likely will fill up. So if you wait to sign up, you're probably going to have a good chance of being excluded. So sign up when that registration opens. I'm not sure exactly when registration opens. It's on the website, but we'll post a link to the website in the description and stuff too.
So bench nationals is combined as well.
Yep. So bench nationals, youth nationals, open nationals, and raw nationals. Well, open nationals equipped and raw nationals, open division and masters only. So no juniors and teens because they're part of the other two events.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep.
Wow.
So we had a
complex and coming up.
It is. So we'll post the link to there in the website so you can have, or in the description so you guys can check out more information. We had a fun listener question come in from Cindy Yeager. Laura, I'm gonna let you answer this first, but here's what came in through the DMs. Somebody slid this into the DMs of PL Pallets podcast Instagram. So here's the question. I'm repeating myself. There is a company that will take your ashes and make a vinyl record out of them once you die, I'm assuming.
Thanks for clarifying that.
The question is, what song do you want to be when you die?
So will they make the record sound like the song?
Well, I think my understanding is they use the ashes to actually make the recording, like they recorded in the ashes on the record, is my understanding. I didn't look it up. I could be making this up.
So when they play it, it could be just like just crazy music.
No, it sounds like it'll be the actual song, whatever.
Okay.
So they can record the actual song in the ashes. I think.
I was a little worried that they'd actually hear, like, I don't know, My Black Heart playing. I think I would want to be something upbeat, like if somebody was like, I'm putting this record on and this is Laura, I'd at least want to be something upbeat, like something like
what the hell is this noise?
Yeah, I don't want to be that, right? I don't want to be like that heavy metal album that people don't really like, or half the people like, but I'd want to be something like stupidly upbeat, like Rubber Band Man. It's like one of my, like, if I'm ever in a bad mood, play that song. You cannot not be in a good mood when you're listening to that song. There's a few songs that I have on my, like, if I'm like emo, play to pull my ass out of that mood.
So your ashes would be Rubber Band Man.
Yeah, something like that.
That's awesome.
It's kind of a hard question because that's like your whole life is rolled into this one album.
I know, it really is.
So it's kind of a big question, but I'm going to go with Rubber Band Man because it's just a fun song, or something like what's that one? Earth, Wind and Fire, September. I love that song too. That's one of my. September. Yeah, wait, you can't.
Is September? Do you remember? Is that the same song? Okay, got it.
That's the song.
That's a good one.
You can't be down when you're listening to that. It's groove. You have to dance. You're having a good time.
I'm considering changing mine now.
Ha!
But I'm not going to.
Okay.
So my pick is not an obscure song from Kiss, but it's not one of their main hits, but it's a song that I really like, and I would love to force people to listen to it. So I choose Hide Your Heart by Kiss.
I'll have to listen for that song. I don't think I know that one.
It was during the non-makeup era in the 80s when they recorded that one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
I think I was too inebriated for most of the 80s to remember that. Oh,
could be. Chris Elmore says he's never heard the song Rubber Band Man.
What?
I don't know. And I'll be honest, I'm not. It's not ringing a bell in my head.
Okay.
Either.
All right.
But so, we will definitely look it up and put the link to it.
Yeah, it's a fun song. It was in Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, as well.
Oh, well, I must know it then because
it's a kind of light.
We probably know it. Probably know it when we hear it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, like Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. That's just a fun song. But that's just. Can I be a whole album? Can I make up like a whole playlist?
We can do
that's
what
a
we
bigger
want.
question. Yeah, I mean,
we can take the question that she asked and just rewrite it to fit our narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and at the end of the day, it's like does anyone really give a shit what I want to be? Sorry, I'm a little pessimistic today.
Play your rubber band, man. Get out of it.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. New lifter tip. Let's move on.
All right. Moving on to the new lifter tip. Tip of the week, I guess, right?
Yep.
So squeeze the bar tight. It seems like kind of obvious, but it's super true. So whether you're squatting, benching, or deadlift, it's really beneficial to actively squeeze the bar hard. I think it's really obvious during deadlift, right? Because you're picking it up and your grip really matters. But I think people kind of overlook it for squat, and it's pretty obvious for bench. But maybe even then, like I see people sometimes like opening up their hands, and that just drives me crazy. It's like, obviously you're not squeezing the bar. You're just going to create much more torque, much more tension with that barbell if you squeeze the bar.
Yep. And just, there's been a lot of studies showing just like the more you squeeze, the more like CNS activation you have overall. So, even if you just think of that from a, logical perspective, if you can get more CNS stimulation, you're going to theoretically be stronger. So even not looking at the direct obvious impact, some of those maybe subtle things too. So just something to throw out there, because I think, like you said, you see a lot of people opening their hands and stuff, but it's just something to practice.
Yep, something to practice. And it's all the little things that actually end up mattering when you're talking about making a big total.
Yep.
Or bigger total.
Bigger.
Concentrate on the little things.
Yep.
All right, so we have a powerlifting situation. This was posted on the 19th, just a couple days ago. And here's the situation. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so coming into the meet, you have a goal of breaking the state record squat and the state record total. Your second attempt squat of 172.5 kilos was hard. The state record's 180. You're confident that a 5 to 7.5 kilo jump is there for sure. So what do you turn in for your third squat?
All right. So to put this in context and to really have a visual what we're talking about, you're probably going to have to go look at it on the Team Roar Instagram. But essentially, we listed the lifters' meet PRs for all three lifts and the total, and the state records for all three lifts and the total. But here's the thing, and a lot of people didn't catch this part when they were leaving their comments. The lifter's PR total is actually 10 kilos less than the sum of their PR lifts individually. So what that tells us is they have never put together a complete meet. So in this situation, their PR total is 440 and the state record total is 452.5. However, the sum of their individual PRs is 450, only 2.5 kilos less than the state record total. So the question was, after our second attempt is hard, 172.5 is hard, should we jump to, what should we jump to basically? 180 is the current record, so they would need to jump to 182.5 to break the state record, which is a 10 kilo jump. I'm going to say not to do that. And most people said do it. The reason I say that, I'm going to actually suggest we just take a 5 kilo jump, which we said we were good for 5 to 7.5 kilos more. I'm going to say we take a 5 kilo jump to 177.5, which would be a 2.5 kilo PR. And then assuming we match our current PR bench, then we only need a 2.5 kilo deadlift PR to break the state record total. So
I would agree. I didn't know all of those details because I'm not I don't follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, of course not.
I don't follow anybody on Instagram. Sorry.
But I think the takeaway here, though, is, people didn't actually go through and add up the individual lifts. They just assumed that they added up to the PR total. But it's so common that people have individual lift PRs in the meet that add up to higher than their meet PR total because they go for the fences or swing for the fences on each one and miss. So if you can just kind of take it conservatively, take that 2.5 kilo PR on the squat, and then you just need a 2.5 kilo PR on the deadlift to break the total.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And plus, at the end of the day, the total is what matters. It's like, I know the total state record doesn't seem like that would be the sexier thing, but it is, because the total still what wins meets.
Yep. Yeah. And that was going to be my other point, is like, when you have a chance to get the total, always take the total first. And then once you have the total, then if you want to do another meet to try to break the squat individually or something like that. But, yeah, what you said, total's what matters. Like, that's what matters. I don't care what anybody else says. Total's what matters.
So there, you heard it from Josh, and there's the truth bomb.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So that's the powerlifting situation. Check it out. All right. Let's do my meet songs. So we're up to third attempt bench. So this is where I go off the rails a little bit. My 2 songs for third attempt bench. The first one is Robert Plant, Little by Little. And the more extreme third attempt song is Evolution by Korn.
I approve.
Very different songs, but
Very.
they hit me in the mojo just right, depending on my mood.
So little by little is how you're thinking about building your bench?
Yeah. I don't know, because
Evolution?
Yeah, evolution, like
Sorry.
I'm evolving in my bench. I don't know. So they're not really specific to the bench. I just threw them in there because they had to go somewhere. But those 2 songs, for whatever reason, can be plugged into any of my attempts, really. I don't know why. Both of them just kind of have that extra go-go juice to them for me.
And it's third attempt time.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Little
That's all I have.
surprising.
Yeah, a little surprising.
That's all. A little surprising, but that's okay.
Yeah. Cool.
That's okay. Well, I hope to have some news on some guests that will be joining us in a future podcast in February. And I will announce that in another episode once I confirm when that's happening. But I do know next week we have a special edition. It's called the Josh Rohr edition, where I am interviewing Josh to find out more about Josh, because y'all may not know.
Oh,
I might learn something. I've known Josh for years. I'm expecting I'm going to learn something.
So I'm going to have to actually start studying, because I don't remember everything. So
I need to send you the questions that I'm going to ask beforehand.
Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah. All right. I will. I'll send you questions beforehand, Josh. You can Google yourself. Oh, wow.
It's
I think
sad
spontaneity is a little more real, but whatever.
No. That's fine. You don't have to send me the questions.
Okay.
Just the heads up that you're going to be asking me questions is good enough. I will start.
Yeah. So if I waited till next week to remind you, that you would have been like, oh, I had a whole thing planned, and yeah.
Well, we could have done it, but it would literally be this pass.
I don't remember those details about myself.
Yeah. So at least this way, hopefully I'll have more information, but that should be fun. I don't get interviewed very often.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, stay tuned and come in. Stay tuned. Tune in next week for the Josh Rohr episode, because it's his birthday and he's turning old.
Oh, dang, it is. I'm turning old. You're right. I will be.
Yeah.
I'll be 38. I had to
not
do
quite
quick math.
Masters 1.
Closing in on that
You're
M1.
getting close.
Yep.
Getting close.
Yeah. Elmore better look out. I'm closing in on M1. Be meeting him in his division and weight class soon.
Grr.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to get crazy.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Well, we will talk to you next week in our Rockin' Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast. And until then.
Later.
Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.